Valdez, Alaska. Hidden among towering peaks and icy waters lies a town full of surprises. Join us as we uncover its secrets. Welcome, travelers, to part 7 of our epic Alaskan RV adventure. In this episode, we'll dive deep into the heart of Valdez, experiencing its unique charm, breathtaking landscapes, and captivating history. We're staying at Chugach RV Park, nestled in the heart of Valdez, with stunning views of the port and surrounding mountains. From here, we can easily explore all that this vibrant town has to offer. We picked up a replacement part for our RV door lock in the last episode, and luckily, the fix is quick and easy. We had the RV lock folks ship that to Valdez ahead of our arrival, which worked out quite well. Swapping it out's a breeze, and it only takes 15 minutes. With the RV lock fixed, we're ready to explore Valdez. And we're in luck. Valdez is celebrating Gold Rush days while we're here. Let's head down to the harbor and check out the festivities. While the vendors are still setting up, we can already see a nice assortment of booths. They have food, souvenirs, information, and entertainment, all set against the stunning backdrop of Port Valdez and the snow-capped Chugach Mountains. We're heading over to the nearby ferry terminal to familiarize ourselves with the facilities and ensure a smooth boarding process for our 6 a.m. departure in a couple of days. Kelsey Dock's a great spot for a stroll and maybe even some fishing. The parade should be starting soon. Let's walk over to Egan Street. Now, Valdez has been holding this Gold Rush Days parade for over 50 years. This 5-day festival commemorates the Valdez Gold Rush that began in 1898. Every August, locals and tourists alike eagerly anticipate this remarkable celebration. Even the four-legged friends get involved. And of course, there's celebrity appearances, some you might even recognize. Now, Valdez might not be a big city, but they sure do put on a nice parade. All this excitement has made us thirsty. Let's head over to a local brewery and grab a cold one. Valdez Brewing looks like the perfect spot to quench our thirst. With 10 beers on tap, the hard part's gonna be choosing.
I like the Dank Robber.
Dank Robber.
Yeah, it's pretty hot forward, but it's like crisp and clear and...
Okay, yeah, I'll have one of that.
The brewery is beautifully designed, with stylish decor and ample seating both indoors and outdoors. And large windows provide a fascinating glimpse into the brewing process. Since it's such a beautiful day, we opt for outdoor seating. And although the brewery doesn't have its own restaurant, we discover a popular food truck called Poor Betty's right out front. Following a local's recommendation, we order the shrimp basket. And it's hands down one of the best shrimp dishes we've ever tasted. The batter is incredibly light and the shrimp is cooked to perfection. You might recall back in our last episode, we visited the hatchery over by Salmon Gulch. Today we're heading back in that direction to do some fishing. Not at the hatchery. Driving up Harbor Drive, we're looking for the public fish cleaning station, just in case we get lucky. Oh, there it is. Looks pretty straightforward. Hopefully we'll be visiting later with the fish we catch. coming up to the hatchery again. There are not nearly as many people here today. Now we just have to find a lucky spot to pull over. This looks good. The shores are lined with rock rubble, and it can be a bit of a balancing act getting close to the water. While I'm fishing, Dang is manning the cameras. No pressure. We notice a little competition in the water. We'll want to stay clear of that guy for sure. I picked up some tackle from the Valdez hardware store, some simple spinners they recommended. And what do you know? I've caught my first fish within minutes. This one swallowed the hook, so we're going to keep it. That was almost too easy. It's like fishing in a barrel. There are a lot of salmon out there. With one of the largest runs of pink salmon in Alaska, it's amazing to think that up to 25 million salmon pass through here in a single season. And here's another one. While it's fun catching them, we really don't have space to keep many. This appears to be about typical size. Now this one was foul hooked, or snagged. I'm not sure about whether we would be allowed to keep it or not, but we're going to throw it back. We could have easily limited out here, but as mentioned, we don't have a lot of room, so we'll take two with us back to the cleaning station. This will provide us with a few good meals, but first we have to clean them. And fortunately, they have a very nice cleaning station here at the small boat harbor. And while I'm cleaning away, Dang's going to provide us with a nice aerial view of the harbor. Notice the light blue color of the water. This is due to a few factors, including glacial flour as well as the depth of the fjord. This, combined with the lush green vegetation and the snow-capped mountains, makes this one of the most picturesque places in Alaska. We honestly just can't get enough. And the camera does not do it justice. You really have to experience it with your own eyes. Fillets in hand, we head back to the truck and stop at the local Safeway on the way back to the RV. You can glimpse the prices on a few of these things. Eating is not cheap in Valdez, but they do have a good selection. Now this is probably not a familiar way of preparing salmon for most of you, but it happens to be a favorite of ours. Dang has made a red curry sauce, which we'll dress the fish with. And the salmon itself is just grilled. Note this is pink salmon, so it's not as fatty or red as some of the other types, and it has a milder flavor as well. These qualities make for the perfect pairing with the red curry sauce, served over, you guessed it, jasmine rice. Valdez has so many great natural resources to visit, and this morning we're going to head up to Keystone Canyon and see Horsetail Falls. The drive is stunning, taking us through the Chugach National Forest. and later through the picturesque Keystone Canyon. It's here, right next to the Richardson Highway, that you will find Horsetail Falls. There's plenty of parking, even for larger rigs. Horsetail Falls was formed by the low river as it carved its way through Keystone Canyon, creating this dramatic cliff. Fed by glacial melt from Horsetail Creek above, the falls are beautiful, cascading hundreds of feet down the forested mountainside. The falls are easy to get to right off the Richardson Highway, and their beauty and accessibility make them a popular stop. Notice the slight hint of rainbow we see from the falls. I love that effect. Not much is known about the history of these falls, but the native people who lived here surely knew them well. Nowadays, the falls are very popular with travelers who want to grab a quick shot for social media. The 2.5-mile one-way Keystone Canyon Pack Trail offers fantastic views of the falls and the entire area. And across the highway, you'll find Bridal Veil Falls. So one stop here nets you 2 gorgeous waterfalls. Horsetail Falls flows into the Low River, which has a beautiful slate blue color from glacial flour. The falls are at about mile 13.5 on the Richardson Highway. The road is winding, so be ready to stop as you get close. Let's continue on now and see what other amazing sights this area holds for us. Another very popular spot to visit in Valdez is the Valdez Glacier and Lake, which you can reach off of Airport Road. Nestled up to the foot of the Chugach Mountains, it's only about 6 miles from town and very easy to get to. There's a campground here associated with Fort Greeley. It has some electric hookups, water, and a dump station, and it's open to the public. Up until a few years ago, you were able to boondock out here, and we would have been all over that, but unfortunately the town recently closed it to boondocking. But it's a great place to visit for day use, and you should be able to park your rig here while visiting. It's hard to believe, but 100 years ago, this whole area would have been buried under deep snow. You see, this lake didn't even exist until around the 1940s, when the glacier started receding and carving out this deep basin of meltwater. While the glacier has retreated significantly, it still flows high up in the Chugach Mountains. These icebergs we see scattered across the lake are chunks that have broken off, a process called calving. In 2018, a massive flood rushed down the valley when a glacial lake burst through an ice dam. Can you imagine being camped here back when that happened? These sudden glacial lake outburst floods, or GLOFs, are a risk in glacier-fed areas. While some GLOFs happen gradually over days, the 2018 event saw the lake drain in a matter of hours. This kind of glacial flooding is a growing concern across Alaska, as warming temperatures cause glaciers to melt and form unstable lakes. Valdez is keeping a close eye on these changes to ensure the safety of residents and visitors. So what do you figure people do with a lake full of icebergs? They use it as an obstacle course, of course. Now, just having the chance to kayak on an alpine lake up here in Alaska is a special treat. But kayaking amongst these icebergs is truly a unique experience. And it's not just kayaks, you can bring other non-motorized vessels as well. In fact, you can even bring your paddleboard. Though the penalty for falling is pretty steep, that water is icy cold. There are places that'll rent you kayaks and such in town, in case you didn't bring your own. Anything that keeps you above the water will transform this into a magical experience. Yes, Valdez Glacier Lake is a must-visit spot when traveling to this area. Heading back to the park, we want to give you an aerial view of this part of town. We like that the Chena RV Park, where we're staying, is a little ways off the beaten path. It's close enough to walk to town, but not right in the fray. One of the folks we ran into here had an interesting observation. He said, "When I told my son how to visit Alaska, I told him to visit Valdez last. This way you don't spoil all the rest of the places, because Valdez is the prettiest of them all." While opinions may differ, most people we have talked to agree that Valdez is certainly one of the prettiest places in Alaska. And if you've been following along with us on this trip, you of course realize Valdez is our first destination in Alaska, excluding our short visit to Hyder back in episode 3. But we have a feeling that, as beautiful as Valdez is, we're not going to be disappointed with the rest of our trip. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think the prettiest part of Alaska is. We've been very happy with our home here in Valdez for the last few days, and we do highly recommend Chena RV Park. But as you can see, there are many RV parks to choose from in Valdez. Tomorrow begins with a completely new experience for us. We're boarding a ferry and crossing the Prince William Sound, destined for Whittier, on the Kenai Peninsula. We can't wait to experience driving our RV onto a ferry. It's going to be an adventure. We have to be lined up at 6 a.m., so we're going to get everything packed up tonight so we can just pull out in the morning. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your feedback is very important to us. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to visit us next episode as we board the ferry for the Kenai Peninsula.